Our next speaker this afternoon is Martin Gross, who is the President and Region Division Manager of the Power Systems Division for ABB in North America. It's a role that he's held since August 2008. Martin oversees ABB's North American transmission and distribution system business, including power generation, network management, grid systems, substations, and substation automation. Since beginning with ABB in 1986, Mr. Gross has advanced through multiple leadership functions from product management, service, sales, and project management, and onto senior management positions within the ABB corporate framework. He earned a diploma in electrical and automation engineering from the Fachhochschule für Technik in Kaiserslautern, Germany. His English is far better than my German. He has lived and worked in Germany, Poland, Switzerland, and the U.S. He's currently based in Raleigh, North Carolina. Please welcome Martin Gross.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for having me here today and the opportunity to speak to you. And also thank you very much for your introduction. You did very well on the German Fachhochschule. Oops, I'm sorry. That was not planned. I would like to share a few thoughts with you regarding what I refer to the imperative for renewable generation, and it's all about building sufficient transmission capacity for renewable generation. I believe it's certainly a very interesting time in history to be involved with the electricity and the electric industry. The power industry is really on the verge of the biggest breakthroughs in generation and also grid transformation since the very early days of Edison and Westinghouse. And as we all know, back then George got it right, and ever since then, the AC transmission has been dominating the power infrastructure until lately. Now today I believe that three other major issues are on the minds of most United States citizens, government officials, and also policymakers. First of all, of course, the status of the economy. But then second, energy reliability and independence. And last but not least, sustaining the environment. And those of us, I guess, who produce and deliver electricity are directly impacted by these issues. And we seek to responsibly apply alternative generation sources, energy efficiency technology, and engineering solutions that will not only deal with these issues, but help us move forward into a new decade fueled by an ever-growing portfolio of renewable generation. Today I'd like to briefly share with you the imperative for developing a more intelligent and flexible long-haul transmission network that has the ability to carry this mostly remote renewable energy to multiple population centers across the country. I guess we all can confirm that the renewable portfolio standards are really driving the build-out of the renewable generation today. And we see about 33 states having some kind of renewable standard. And these RPS and their corresponding deadlines for compliance have had a significant impact on recent generation spending. So when we look at this scheme here, renewable resources and transmission in the West, you can see that a lot of the wind resources are not really even close to the high voltage transmission lines in the country that do exist currently. And even if they were, those lines were not equipped to actually carry the additional loads, which is creating the question, how do we get those abundant wind resources to the load centers? The proposed goals for a national renewable portfolio standard, for example, will rise from 12 to about 25%. And should such a national standard be released by the government, we estimate that incremental capacity additions of over 300 gigawatt will be needed to occur. The problem is, as you can see, the transmission capacity for this new and mostly remote generation currently does not exist. And With an average construction schedule of 60 to 72 months for a major high-voltage transmission line, it could take well beyond 2025 until it would be in place. Among other things, the NERC October 2009 publication, 2009 Long-Term Reliability Assessment, states that the first priority must be to expand the grid and increase the capacity of transmission to handle the expected growth of renewable energy. The report concluded by saying more than 11,000 miles, or about 35% of that additional transmission above 200 kV, proposed and projected in this report must be developed on time to ensure reliability over the next 5 years. I mean, I'm talking about next 5 years. And all of us who are in transmission business know what that means. That's very, very short term. NERC strongly believes that construction siting is the most urgent issue for the electric power industry now and well into the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we are to harvest the vast renewable power potential that does exist in this country, we also need to be able to move it from its production point to the cities and load centers. Bulk transmission capacity is a prerequisite for large-scale renewable generation, and there are proven, readily available, and cost-effective technologies that are being applied around the world right now. For example, high-voltage direct current transmission technology. It enables the transmission of remote generation to load centers in a highly efficient manner and also with a much smaller footprint. Or intelligent transmission systems like flexible AC transmission systems, also called FACTS, which enable the effective integration of remote renewable generation. The replacement of local generation with remote generation mandates that you need to have some local VAR support or reactive power support to compensate and also to help to harness the intermittent nature of the wind and solar power to support the local voltage and frequency stability. Now, let me share with you the status of a few key transmission projects in the country that are focused actually on renewable generation. So there are things going on in the country. Florida Power and Light, Next Era Energy, for example, has completed much of its merchant transmission associated with its Horse Hollow Wind Energy Center in Texas. Southern California Edison continues to add transmission to support wind generation in the Tehachapi region. San Diego Gas and Electric's recent Sunrise Power Link. Also, there is a primary reason for that is the system reliability and load growth in Southern California. It will also play a major role in bringing renewable generation from the Imperial Valley into Southern California. And according to the Renewable Energy Transmission Initiative, the Imperial Valley alone has the potential for about 7 gigawatt of solar, 3.5 gigawatt of wind, 2,000 megawatt of geothermal power generation. Altogether, more than 10 gigawatt of renewable energy, 10 nuclear power stations, if you like, and it all has to go to the load centers. LS Power Southwest Intertype, for example, will move renewable power from Wyoming to Montana to substations near Las Vegas. And another LS Power project called Overland Transmission will apply either high-voltage AC or DC circuits across 560 miles to move renewable generation between Wyoming and southern Idaho. So also there are a number of major transmission projects underway or nearing construction in the USA. They are by far not enough to support the RPS requirements. Remember, 300 gigawatt or more? So from my point of view, the two key impediments for the expansion of the renewable power transmission capacity are, first of all, the fragmented and very time-consuming regulatory approval process, and B,